I'm showing 8:31 on the dot, which is not a dot, it's a minute past. I had crumpets for my 4 o'clock in the afternoon tea brigade, which is the thing now here where I live. And what I wanted to talk to you guys about this evening is how hard I have worked on this particular accent because it was the only way that I could get an exclusive. Now, I could get an interview, but I was going to have to share it with all the other media outlets. But she said I could get an exclusive interview if I would speak in full British accent for the interview. And I said, oh, splendid. I can hardly wait. So this evening, we've already begun to record. And when this goes to my YouTube account, like all these videos do, people will wonder what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is tonight, I'd like to introduce you to perhaps, I'm going to let her tell you all the details, but she perhaps is one of the youngest, if not the youngest, emeralds in our company. And what I suspect is that she won't be emerald for very long. So tonight, I'm going to interview for you the one and only AbbyJo Hilderbrand. By the way, her middle name is not Jo. Could you tell us, AbbyJo, what is your middle name?
My middle name is K-N.
Say it again.
K-N. K-A-Y-N.
Right, she has several middle names. Her name is AbbyJo K-N Hilderbrand. She's a girl with like 4 middle names, if you're counting. And what we're going to interview her about tonight, we're going to do our very best to possibly embarrass her. I'm already sweating. But I want to know some first of all, just some basic information from you. How old are you?
I'm 22.
And how long have you been a Plexus ambassador?
I've been a Plexus ambassador for 2 years. I joined in August of 2013.
Oh, so exactly 2 years like now.
Yeah. Like.
Okay, you're going to have to unmute yourself because I'm going to mute everyone. Okay, so you unmute yourself now. Okay? Now we don't have any feedback. Good. Okay, so August of 2013. Let's venture back in time, AbbyJo, and I would like for you to tell us what on earth in August of 2 years ago made you decide that you would sign up as a Plexus ambassador, and you can give us several sentences here because I'm not going to stop you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, honestly, the biggest reason that I signed up was competition because my parents they didn't force me, but they finally talked me into taking the products in June of 2013. My life completely changed around. I didn't have any migraines anymore. I was energetic. I had energy finally for the first time, and I was in my 2nd year of my x-ray program, and my brother signed up, Gable, before I did, and he was like going up and making money, and I was like, oh, no, he will not be the only child doing this. So sadly to say, that was really the reason that I signed up. And I did believe in the products. I wasn't so sure that people wanted to listen to a barely 19-year-old at the time talk about the products, but no. I guess I just turned 20. Yeah, 20. That would make sense. That's 2 years ago. Anyway, yeah, that was why.
Okay, so is your brother older or younger than you?
He is 2 years older than me. He just turned 24. No, he's 3 years older than me. He just turned 25.
Okay. So is he your sponsor?
He is my sponsor. My mom made me sign up under him so that it wouldn't be a competition, so that we could rank up around the same times and that kind of thing.
Okay, I get it. I understand that. I just had to get this straight in my mind. So, do you remember the first moment that you realized that you had made a decision that would have an impact on the rest of your life? Is there any particular moment, or was that something that sort of happened gradually?
It kind of happened gradually throughout the first year, but the really convention of 2014 really kind of solidified it for me, because I was there and I was like, this is really amazing and I can really do this. And I wanted to be on the stage and I wanted to be one of those people. And so I realized if they could do it, then I could do it. So convention was really my aha moment.
Okay. So how many conventions have you been to so far?
Two.
So you will be going to next convention for sure on the stage. I'm going to predict, this is just a prediction on my behalf, and I've been told that I'm pretty smart. I'm predicting that you will be a diamond by convention next year. You have so far qualified for the trip to Maui because you had to qualify by the end of this month, right? Or actually last month, I'm saying it.
In July, yes.
Right. So at this point, I think inquiring minds want to know, are you single?
I'm not single. I'm not married, but I do live with my boyfriend and we just bought a house. So no.
Okay, so she's not on the market. That was something that all the people who sent in questions were wanting to know. So I promised that I would ask. Okay, so the next question I want to know the answer to is, do you have any best, let's ask you tips. Let's let you freeform. First of all, let me say, AbbyJo and I did not talk about what questions I would ask. We decided that we would free flow. Since we are both sort of artists and free spirits, I said, do you want me to give you a list of questions? And she said, no, we can just, fly by the seat of our pants. And so my next question is, give us any business tips that you feel like helped boost you to Emerald.
Okay. I feel like the best advice that anyone could have if they would actually take it and do it is affirmations. And I know that you know this, so I know that all of your team has probably already heard this a million times. But if you're not already doing affirmations, do them. Read the Circle Maker and start drawing circles around your dreams and making it a priority. I wanted to hit Emerald in July so that I could get the trip to Maui, because my parents were both Emeralds last year, so they took me and my brother to Maui. So I wanted to go again because I know how awesome it is. And so I had a couple pictures that I had taken in Maui last year on the Emerald Extravaganza trip, and I printed them out and put them on around my computer, my desktop computer, and I wrote some affirmations out. I'll read them out loud to you if you want me to.
Yes, please do.
Sonia Dudley helped me a little bit with these, but okay, so there's 5 of them. One was, it feels so awesome to win my free Lexus and win the trip to Maui on or before July 31st with ease and no stress. And I will tell you, I'm not one that doesn't really stress a lot, but I had absolutely no stress the entire month of July. And it was really strange, but really awesome. So number 2 was, it is so exciting to attract excited new people all month long with ease. And that totally happened too. I think I signed up like 7 new ambassadors that are like super excited about the business, and they're all around my age, which is fun for me too, because that's what I like. 3 was, it is so fun to see even my inactives get active and excited this month. That happened. 4, I am so excited to see and talk to Sonia, Michelle and Tim, Sarah, Lori and Jetty, and Helen and Maui this year. And that hasn't happened yet, but it will. And number 5 was, I love having unexpected miracles happen every day. And of all of them, I think that was my favorite, because that I got to see unexpected miracles happen every single day. And I started noticing that I was looking forward to them. So my biggest business, it's not really, I mean, it is important for your business, but it's important in any aspect of life, is affirmations. And the next one is to be confident. You know the products work, you know the business works. So if you're confident in yourself, people are going to take you seriously, and they're going to, even at 22 years old, they're going to know that you're serious and that this is something that they can do too. So that's what I have.
Okay. You already know how much I agree with everything you just said, so I love that. Okay, so my next question would have to do with, is there anything particular that you think reaches out about this business to people in your age range? And is there a particular way or maybe particular things not to do if we are looking to reach out to someone who is more in your age category? Because we would all love to have several 22-year-old ambassadors on our first level. Please give us some tips.
Okay. Honestly, success stories really get them. And I think in mine, competition is kind of a big thing too. So if they see other people that are younger that are ranking up, then they want that too. And I don't know if that's an age thing or if that's just a me thing, but that's kind of one. Let's see. Let me think about that for a second.
Okay.
Because I know that's
if you can think about it, it's fine. We're not going anywhere.
Good. That's one of the most common questions that I get is how to get younger people on board. And part of it is when they're ready. So if you have a certain person, maybe be speaking to that person, like not actually speaking to them, but, you know, I'm so happy that AbbyJo Hilderbrand is on my team this month or something like that. And that, honestly, I hate going back to affirmation. I don't hate it because it's awesome, but I hate that that's my same answer every time. But that's really what's really got a lot of people my age on my team because I called them to my team. So that is one. Success stories. People love whenever other young people are successful, they want that too. So that kind of goes to the competition thing that they're like, oh, I can totally do that. I'm like, yes, you can. And then let's see. Oh, I don't know. The fact of not having school debt, or student loans, that's a big one too, because that's pretty awesome. Being able to make 6 figures a year and not have to go to school for 8 years or pay those off. So I hope that.
So are you going to leave if I start talking like an Okie?
No, you totally can. I was going to tell you that's cool.
Okay, so I have another question. The people that are on your team that are younger, do you have many that are within your age range, or are you being able to extend the invitation to join this business out to people who you find are some maybe your age, but some other, maybe older people? Are you finding that you're able to get older people to listen to you?
Yes, they do. And I think that goes back to the confidence thing, because at first I've had somebody, my mom and I were at a booth in Oklahoma City, and I was sitting there, my plexus gear behind the desk with her, and she was talking to a man about it, and she looked at me for like backup, and I said something, and he was like, what do you know? You're not even old enough to take this stuff. And I was just like, okay. So, but I mean, I've definitely had that happen, but with the confidence, people do listen to me, and they see, especially now that, I'm not going to quit. So that does help. And I do have younger on my first level. It's probably close to half and half. Half are my age and half are older. I keep trying to go back and count and see like what the actual ratio is, but that's probably close to it. And what was the rest of the question?
That's really what I wanted to know. I am also curious, do you read a lot, or do you find yourself more drawn to watching videos, or are there favorite books that you have? Any of that? I'm just trying to give you topics that I'd love to have you talk about.
Right. Okay. Rock the Pink Live YouTube channel, I absolutely love, and I will listen to those like when I'm in the shower or something like that, and I have a Bluetooth speaker. Here she is. And I will plug that in so I can listen to it while I'm in the shower. And that is a really great way to kind of, get my day going. And then I like to read in spurts, but I've more made myself kind of read because I think that it's important. If you don't already love to read, then I don't know, be diligent enough to make yourself sit down and read, because there's so much important information in the network marketing books, or like books like The Circle Maker. I love The Circle Maker. And of course, you are the one that got me on that one. I am, let's see, Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins was really good for me too. And I'm about to start The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell, so I'm really excited about that one. So a little bit of both.
Okay, good. Do you follow a lot of leaders in Plexus and what they're doing, or do you sort of do your own thing, or kind of a combination of both?
I follow a lot of leaders. I follow you religiously. You were my first inspiration, and now, of course, you're like family. So that is awesome. And Sonia Dudley, I really like watching her stuff. And then, of course, Tim and Michelle Thomas. And I really like Sarah Marble's videos too. So I kind of go back and forth and watch a little bit of all of them, so that I'm not just getting like one side. You know, I like to get everyone's side and then kind of do what fits with me. So yeah, I do like that. And I like seeing, you know, the black Lexuses, and I like seeing those kind of things, because for me, it motivates me. Like, yes, I want that, instead of, you know, and I guess I want to throw this out there. If you're somebody that seeing all that kind of stuff just like makes you super mad, then I don't suggest that you follow all those people. Just make it your own goal. But for me, that's something that motivates me. So I like seeing that stuff. So yeah, I absolutely do follow you.
Okay. So, as far as like, I mean, here is me, the age that I couldn't, maybe I'm not quite old enough to be your mom, let's say, but I am. Okay. Let's just be realistic. Okay. But let's pretend like I'm not. But from like a motherly advice stance, here I am, I'm sitting in a position to think, God, if I had only known at 22, or I'd only been privy to, well, what your parents have set you up for. And it's, I mean, you've done the hard work. I'm not taking anything away from you, but your parents could see something. They saw a potential in a company, and they had taken the step themselves. And so now it's your mom, which is Melissa Hilderbrand, your dad, Terry Hilderbrand, and you and your brother, which are the only two, and you latched onto this opportunity. And to me, I just think about it, I think, wow, you're setting up a legacy for your own kids to be in a position where you're debt-free your entire life. I know I talked about this a little bit in a video that I did about you, but also, whatever you choose to do at this point, because you're 22 years old, if you choose to go get into, I'm saying this because the fact that this video is being recorded and that this will go out for the whole world to see possibly, and the thought that any 22-year-old might watch this, or actually, here's really what I'm thinking, any 22-year-old's mother, okay, might watch this video and think, I don't know if I want my daughter to get hooked up in a scheme. Here's the way I see it. And I probably would have been the scheme mom before I actually could see it plainly. I probably would have been like, oh God, I hope nobody approaches my daughter about that. I don't know what that is. Well, the thing that's most remarkable to me is that you and your parents and divine guidance has positioned you in a place to where your choices are sort of limited only by your imagination at this point. And I know you know that, because those of you who don't know AbbyJo, please don't add her on Facebook and start pestering her. But I'm going to say, if you did pester her, all you would be met with is awesomeness, because she's like beyond her years in spiritual advice. She's very smart. But I will say this. The things that she's average in are probably the same thing that your kids are average in. Like, I mean, grew up in a rural area. Did you grow up like rodeoing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we traveled a lot with, roping.
Yeah. So, yeah, like country girl, all the things that, not anything that makes you think of New York City, you know what I'm saying, like paste picante sauce type stuff. It's more of stuff that makes you think of down home cooking, like the way I was raised and the way my kids are being raised. And to me, it's really fascinating to think about if someone approached my 20-year-old, for example, if I had a 20-year-old daughter, I'm thinking, I don't know that I would have the foresight to think they're offering her freedom to be whatever she wants to be. And I know that you and I have sort of discussed things off and on, but I mean, do you sort of feel that? Do you sort of feel like I can be whatever I want to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
It's an awesome feeling, right?
Yes, it's such a great feeling. I've always thought that I was a princess and that I could be, whatever. And I never thought growing up, whenever I was actually old enough to realize that I can't actually be a princess because I'm not moving to England or anywhere that princes are. So I was like, then I'm actually going to have a job and I'm actually going to do these things. And then whenever Plexus came, I was like, I really can do whatever I want to do. And the best part is, so can you and you and you and you. That's my thing. So yes, I love the fact that I can do whatever I want, and I am doing just that, and I can share that with other people. That's my favorite part. I can do whatever I want to do, but my favorite part is everyone else can too.
Which leads me perfectly to my next question. My next point is I want to give you a chance to maybe tell us a little bit about the dynamics of your team and do a shout out, because the thing about network marketing, for anybody who's watching this video, and I will let her expand on this, is that the only way I or AbbyJo or anybody watching this will ever get anywhere is because we helped other people, which is so different than at least what you typically think of in corporate America. Typically you think of the fact that you have to step on people's heads to get a little bit higher. And in this business, it's been remarkably different for me and for you, I'm sure. And so can you tell us a little bit about your team dynamics, about trying to be in the position of leadership when you're 22 years old, and anything you want to tell us about anything about that would be great.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to be really honest for a minute, because whenever I first started in the business in August 2013, I went outside my box and talked to Ron and Kara Lindley, and they're an amazing couple. And it was the first time I'd ever met them. And I don't know what I said. I left the restaurant not knowing what I said, but I know I handed her a slim packet, and they ended up signing up and just completely took off with it. They live in Winfield, Kansas, which is about 2 hours from me. So they completely took off with it, had a whole nother network of people. And I signed people up too, but I really kind of rode on their coattails for a while, because I was like, yeah, they're awesome. And look at me, I'm gold now. And, and it was really, it was fun, but I wasn't really doing what I should be doing. And at convention is when it really, really kind of struck me, because Ron turned Ruby in May, and I didn't turn Ruby until August or September. So I was like, okay, Abby, that was kind of another reason why convention was so important to me, that I had to step it up myself. So they have been amazing, and their whole team is just awesome. I don't even want to start naming names, because
right.
They all know that they're awesome, and I'm always going to miss somebody. But then I got a couple of my best friends in, like Amanda and Rachel. There's a couple of them, and my cousin Jennifer, and I'm sure I'm going to miss other people too. My other cousin Bremen, and my boyfriend Michael, and and they have really been taking off too. And so it's just really exciting. I've almost felt a little bit of guilt for it, because it's not like stepping on people's heads. It's a team effort. And so I am ranking up because of how awesome my team is. And it's a weird spot being a leader and knowing that you're successful only because your team is successful. Yeah. So as the leadership part of it, I guess, I went for a long time not feeling like I should be a leader because I just turned 22 in June. So at 21 years old, I didn't feel like who's going to listen to me. You know, at that point, most of the people were older than me. I don't think there's anyone on my team that's younger than me. So I was like, you know, who's going to listen to me? I don't know what I'm doing. So that convention, of course, this is a stepping part. I really started focusing on leadership and started listening to John Maxwell's videos and law of attraction and all of that kind of stuff, and really started seeing myself as a leader. And that's when I think I was actually able to be a leader for my team. So,
so do you believe that like what comes out of our mouth is really important?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like,
so
go on and on and on and on and on and on about that.
Okay, I can go on and on and on because
water. Sorry, go ahead.
No Diet Dr. Pepper or whatever it was. She's gonna show us. Okay, I believe water and vodka. Okay, just kidding. Anyway. What comes out your mouth is so important. I believe 120% in the law of attraction and all of that kind of stuff. That's why affirmations are so important. And I was raised to believe, you know, the Bible says, you know, what comes out your mouth basically going to happen. So I was raised to believe all of that kind of stuff, but never really, I thought it all meant with just spiritual things like, if I said bad words, I was going to hell or, you know, something. I always believed like that kind of thing. And I was like, man, this sucks. But then once I started realizing what it really is, it's you can create whatever you want. And that puts a lot of people, I feel like, don't want to hear that because that puts a lot of pressure like right here on me. You know, if I'm not succeeding, it's my fault no matter what. It's not anyone else's fault. It's not, oh, they did me wrong or something like that. It's on you, and it's what I believe. So, and what comes out your mouth, your ears hear. So that's what your brain starts to believe. And, you know, I know you've heard Lori talk about this. Your brain doesn't know what's real and what's not. So whenever you're speaking those things, my brain all month long thought myself as emerald. I have an emerald ring. Let me show it to you. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's a little emerald ring, and I bought it because every time I looked at it, I would say, I'm emerald. Well, I didn't wear this ring the whole month of July because I already considered myself emerald. So I'm not going to wear the ring whenever I hit emerald. So that's a whole side note. But in my mind, I was already emerald, so it couldn't not happen, I guess. That's really crazy, but it's true.
I love this. I feel like I gave birth to you, but I didn't have to have the labor pains. This is awesome. It's like the most awesome birth I've ever given birth to. Tell your mother I said thank you. So, okay. So at this point, this has been, first of all, it's been the most awesome British interview I've ever done, and the most awesome interview I've ever done, all in the same interview, okay? And so at this point, I want to give a couple of you, if you have a burning, now I don't want a dumb question from you people, but if you guys have a burning, aching desire of a question that you want to ask to Miss AbbyJo 22, AbbyJo Sapphire 22, because she's not just in emerald now, y'all. She's all like, I don't wear the emerald ring anymore. If you have a question you want to ask her, chat it to us really quick because we have a little bit more time. The last thing that was chatted. Okay, let me tell you this first. When I do my own Zoom chats, AbbyJo, they chat the whole time. And this Zoom chat, they quit chatting at the last thing that was said was like 20 minutes ago, and they said, your accent is starting to turn a bit Mrs. Doubtfire-ish, and I don't even know who this person is for sure, but I'm coming after you after this is over with, because that was rude, except for awesome, because I take it as a compliment. So if you guys, right, okay, they're saying we had to take notes, and I know that's what they're doing. They quit. That's what I was trying to say is they quit chatting to each other, which they do through my entire Zoom. They say, hey, what's up? And because they were taking notes during this one. They quit chatting back and forth. But I'm giving you an opportunity. If anyone has a question that we haven't answered and it's a burning desire in your heart, this is your chance. We're going to do the Jeopardy little do, because I'm not going to wait all night. But if anyone has a question, let's chat it now. Oh, how many meetings have you done? That was a question.
Okay. When I started, I didn't do any meetings. I went to all of the meetings with my mom and dad, and I listened to them because they knew like everything. They still do. And I'm old enough to realize that. So I'm not super young. But so I went to all their meetings, but anytime mom would say, do you want to talk about blah? I'll be like, no. So I finally started doing my own meetings. I don't know, January-ish. But now most of my meetings are like launch parties. So for all of my new people, I do launch parties for them. So that's a meeting. So I've like this month I'll do like 3 or 4. Last month I probably did 3 or 4. So maybe 3 or 4 a month.
So you're talking about like online launch parties?
No, these are like in-person launch parties. These are the people that are like near me within driving distance, within an hour or two that I could drive. So I have done a couple online. Well, no, I've actually only done one. Me personally, done one online meeting.
Can you give us like just the tiniest short description of like when you say a launch party? Are you having a new ambassador invite all their friends? Is that what you're calling a launch party, right?
Yes. Whenever they sign up, it's easy to go fast and it's really hard to go slow. So I try and make that as get that to them across as easily as I can, because you want that momentum. So if they get within the first couple weeks of them signing up, or I have some people that have signed up like a year ago, but they're just now wanting to actually work the business. So whenever you're deciding that you're going to work the business, then let's get a party going. And yeah, they invite all their family and friends, and basically it's an opportunity meeting. I go through all the products and go through the business a little bit, and then it's just an opportunity for their friends and family to join them too, because I think it's really important to get somebody that's kind of on your level, like a best friend or a mom. Me and my mom have done a lot together, and it's helped so much. So if you can have someone that's on your same level, I'm always there to help them. But if they can have, 2 people starting together, linking arms are going to last a lot longer than just one person. So that's kind of the goal of the launch parties.
Okay, totally, completely agree with that. Okay, let me see really quick. Okay, let me see what else they're saying.
Okay.
Do you have it says, what do you feel are the best places to set up booths? Have you done booths a lot?
I haven't done a lot of booths. I did one in Colorado with my cousin. It was like a craft fair kind of thing. That was cool. And then the other ones I've done, well, it's at Oklahoma City at the USTRC roping finals. So that's not something that everyone goes to. Not everyone in Plexus. There's a lot of people that go to it. And those were really successful, actually. I don't know as far as the best places to set up booths. If you have the time and the money, then absolutely go. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, another question. This is probably a question. I'm going to ask it to you backwards. Do you focus more on the opportunity? And the second, they ask this question first. How often and how do you follow up with so many customers, or is your customer base shrunk as you have grown? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. To answer the first question that you had, I learned this from this really awesome girl named Lori Harrison, to shut up and ask questions, or ask questions then shut up. And that has helped me so much, because whenever you know what they really want, whether they're asking about the products or the business, either one, whenever you find out what their core, what they really need or what they really want, then that's kind of when I go. So if someone asks me, what's Plexus? I'll give a short, sweet answer and say, why do you ask? Do you or someone are you looking to join the business, or are you looking to try the products, and then I'll just keep asking questions, and I'll answer their questions, but then I'll keep asking, and then so that way, you get to know what they really want to know. I know you know what I'm talking about, because this is
you're sounding brilliant. You're sounding so brilliant right now.
Because I sound like exactly like you. I know, it's brilliant. And to keep up with my customers, I was having a really hard time with this, because follow-up is so important, and we all know that, but nobody really wants to do it because they're ordering, so you're getting the points for them or whatever. So what I did, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I printed out, these are like all my customers, and I printed out their orders from this. I did this in June, and I printed out all of the people that ordered in June, and then I write on there when I emailed them if they responded or not, what questions they had, that kind of thing. That's the best way that I've figured out how to do it. And it is a monthly thing that I do because it's not my favorite thing to do. Can I admit that? I don't know. So I just make myself take the time to do it. So that's how I
I'm going to pester you with one more question, because this is actually a great question to end with. Is there anything now, as an emerald going to Maui, and you do have some background because you're 2 years in. Is there anything now that you wish you would have known the day you started? And I know that's sort of a complicated question, but you may have like, I know it right now kind of answer.
I do know it right now, because mine is, I wish that I could tell my 20-year-old self, stop posting graphics. Stop it. I lost so many potentials and so much of my warm market because I posted the stupid graphics. And there's one in my head. It was so I joined in August, and I posted this. I thought it was super cute, and it was going to get so many customers because it had Santa on it, and Santa was really fat, and Santa needed to lose weight, and Santa needed money, and it wasn't cool. It's still not cool. I thought it was, but it wasn't, and it didn't get me any customers, believe it or not. So if I could tell my old self anything, or if I would have known anything, it would be to post like a journal, like you say. I mean, I learned that from you too. Everything I learned is really from Lori. So she could just really talk all day, and I'd be like, yeah. But when I've done that, little things about not having migraines, I can go to concerts and stuff now without worrying about migraines. And of course the money is good too. So little things about, bought a Mustang, don't have to worry about, I don't know, just little things like that. If I could post journal entries instead of the graphics and being salesy, hey, message me for more details. I'm only making fun of it because I've done it. So if you're doing that, I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of you. That's it.
Okay, I promise I wasn't paying her. But that's like the best thing to end on. I love it. If you had another question that we didn't get answered yet, let's see, we're like a little bit over time, and I really want to pray over you guys. And if you have a question and you want to ask me to ask her later, just message me, and I'll make sure and get the answer to her and her brilliant 22-year-old self. I'm not going to lie, it's a little irritating, AbbyJo, that you're 22 and you've got all this, I love it. But you've got all this, it's irritating and inspiring at the same time, because it's like, man, actually, I think when I was 22 years old, I was making huge mistakes when I was 22 years old. And most of them weren't even financial mistakes. Like, they weren't even like, I was making, no, except for huge credit card. I was making enormous credit card mistakes when I was 22-year-old. But even bigger than those mistakes, I was making really huge relationship and like the rest of your life type goofy mistakes. And I think if I was 22 years old and I could have your foresight, and I have to give a lot of credit to your parents here, they saw something and they saw that it was real. And so, some of you that are on the call or maybe watching this via YouTube, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have a 20-year-old, I have a 22-year-old who would never give this the time of day. this may make you think, okay, maybe they would, because the fact is there's so much here, and you don't have to be 40 years old to grasp it. And actually, you know, like yes, speak up, Tilly.
Sorry, I know we're trying to end, but I wanted to say I have a lot of, if you're watching this, YouTube here, whatever, and you're like, I have a 20-year-old son and daughter, but they won't listen to me when I talk to them about plexus. I've had a lot of people message me and ask me about that. And really, my answers across the board, affirmation, start speaking to them. And really, and my last person that I said, okay, this is what I want you to do. Every time you think about it, and every time you think of how irritated or how much they're missing out, close your eyes and see them as an Emerald ambassador. See them as up there leading a meeting. See your son or daughter actually holding the plexus products and so passionate that you can't even stand it. And see them passing you in rank. You know, see that. So that's my advice. Yes, get your people involved, and if they won't listen to you as of now, do that.
Okay, so that brings me to a question. I have to ask you this because I saw someone just ask me this. As your team grows, are some of those people that are joining your team, are they coming out of your customer base?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yes, they are. Not all of them. I do have people that are just recently that are joining just for the business or whatever. But I do have a lot of people that are coming out of my customer base, because good preferred customers make awesome ambassadors.
Yeah, agreed. So I can tell from my experience, and you can tell me whether you relate or not. There's no wrong answer to this, but I had volume that was ridiculous, because first of all, because I didn't understand the compensation plan completely. I had volume that was ridiculous because I had so many customers, preferred customers or whatever, and as many of those naturally flipped, because I didn't even know to flip them. I mean, this was years ago. I didn't know to flip them into actual ambassadors. They would naturally go, hey, I can do this. I mean, it's embarrassing to think back now and think of many of my ambassadors flip themselves, or customers flip themselves into ambassadors. But I can think back on that now, and I'm like, okay, I probably approached the business in a way where it was mostly based in product information. And now, especially since I can see the whole picture, and I can, sadly, this is true, I can interview leaders in this company and say, you know, do you have a lot of customers? Do you mostly have ambassadors? What does your team look like? And my volume has always been, well, I say always, in the beginning, my volume was really, really high, and the people that I had join in wholesale was lower. And actually, I wish I had known differently. I wish I would have known to keep plenty of customers so that I didn't have low volume. But I wish I would have known that many of those people that I was sort of like not telling them about the business, because I thought, I kind of like their preferred customer bonus. You see what I'm saying? I wish I'd have been like, but they have a lot of friends that might, you know, does that make sense to you too? Does that resonate with you? People that you started off as a preferred customer, then they join your business and they begin to build a team, and what dynamic that plays in your whole, like the whole regards to your, even your ranking and such. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna see if there's any more. Okay, I think that's probably the end.
Hi, Trip.
I didn't even know that was coming from. Okay, so you got, that's my son. He's 15. You gotta do it one more time.
He's awesome. Hey.
He loves it when I do a Zoom meeting. So, okay, so what I'm gonna do for you, I feel like at this point, I want to pray for you guys, and mostly I know from everyone because people literally have never gotten this numbskull quiet. So they're really wanting to hear from you tonight, and I appreciate your time, and I want to extend that thank you from across the board from everyone that's on this team. In case you don't know, AbbyJo is a butterfly. She's just a few levels down. So
Yeah.
everybody, she's an emerald butterfly. I don't know if her team calls her a butterfly. She is our team, though. So anyway, so what I want to do is I want to pray. They're saying thank you for doing this. Many of them are chatting with us right now. So I want to pray over you guys, and I do appreciate you very much. And if you guys think of something later, it becomes difficult when you become awesome sauce, like AbbyJo, because she's going to get, not just from us, she's going to get 10 million friend requests from across the world because I made a video about her, and then next thing you know, she has, not on top of her own curly-haired fame, she has fungus fame on top of that. And so if you have a question for her, ask her on the butterfly page and tag her, and that would be cool. Then everybody can see her answers, if that makes sense to everybody. So
Follow me if you want to know what I post on there.
yes, follow her if you want to see what she posts about. I'm super excited that she said that her Santa graphic didn't necessarily work, but that telling her story and journaling did, because you guys know that I'm all about that. So anyway, let's pray really quick. Lord, I'm so thankful. We're really grateful tonight for AbbyJo and her willing heart, her willingness to share not just her successes, but anything about her story, even if it was something that she just wishes that she would have changed. We're grateful for that. We're grateful for her family and the hearts that they have for you. Lord, we just lift up so many of these teams tonight that they may not even feel like a team yet. They're like, well, it's just me. It's just me and my sister, or it's just me and my cousin, whatever. But it's a team, and we lift those teams up to you, Lord, those families. Because I love the story that a family, you know, like a father and a mom and a son and daughter can work this business together. And that's exciting to me because that's what I have in my own household. And Lord, I just lift up any concerns that there are tonight, that you would just give complete peace over those concerns, that you would extend your mercy and grace in a way that they never dreamed was possible. Lord, I'm so grateful that the people that join on this call, or anybody that's watching it later, Lord, that if they don't know you already now and have a personal relationship with you, that I'm grateful that they would have someone, even if it's me, or even if it's AbbyJo, someone to reach out to and say, okay, I don't know why you prayed at the end of your call. That sounds really silly since this is a business. I'm grateful that they would have someone to reach out to and say, okay, tell me why you prayed. Tell me why you actually have anything in your heart that would make you want to pray to someone. I'm grateful for the people that are on my team. Actually, I stand in awe and I'm amazed every day at the hearts. Obviously, He's created these hearts, and I stand in awe and so grateful. Lord, every single business that's involved right now in the people that are on this call, the businesses that are involved, Lord, I lift those up to you, that all of them would feel your peace, that would feel your favor, such favor on their businesses. And also that they would ignore it, that they would know where it came from, that it's from you, Lord. It's a gift. And it's a gift because you love us. I just feel so grateful tonight. And I thank you for every mercy in our lives. And if there is any concern tonight that someone has, that they're nervous about, worried about, something coming up in their life, that they feel lost about, Lord, that you would minister to those needs tonight. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, AbbyJo. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking.
No,
That
I'm
was
kidding.
cool being asked by Laura Harrison to be on her Zoom.
No, we really appreciate it very much. And hang on a second. Now my throat has a tickle, of course. But thank you so much for your time. And you guys have a great night. And if you have questions, actually at this time, I'll unmute. Well, actually, you'll have to unmute yourself. Hang on a second. The bourbon's not working tonight, y'all. It's a Luden's. I need some cough drops. I don't know what it is, but anyway, if anybody has questions, I'm going to look at the chat really quick to see. Oh, they're all just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining us tonight. We had a lot of super participants tonight. And you guys have a super night and the rest of your week. Be blessed, okay? Good night, guys.